Hello baby gangsters, this is Calvin, also known as Romer, and this is my first ever playthrough of Slay the Princess. And we just got back from having to try and kill the princess. They wouldn't let us do anything else, because they forced us kind of into this this choice, which I actually appreciate quite a bit, because it made sure that we didn't go down the same path and still kept the meta nature of the game that makes you feel like, you are choosing stuff, but also at the same time, it's winking to the camera in a little way too. Let's see what else we can get out of the narrator here.
Then maybe it's best to keep it that way. Brilliant. We need to keep our cards close to our chest, and I'm not sure we can trust him.
So even opportunist this time.
You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me.
So now...
Did I say I'm not sure we can trust him? Slip of the tongue, bit of the old brain fog.
Oh no.
I meant to say that we should probably head over to the cabin and slay that princess. We already know we can't trust her, so let's get on with the show.
So the opportunist is someone who's probably going to take the road that is the most open, I guess. If he sees an open opportunity, he's going to take it. Let's assume I'm telling the truth and all this did really happen. Let's go to the cabin. No, we're not going to play games with this guy right now.
A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat,
nope,
and she will do
she's too sweet.
in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says.
She's too sweet.
Don't worry. You can trust us to get the job done.
Proceed to the cabin. So this time, I wonder what the cabin's going to look like on the inside. Is it going to be the stone? Oh my god.
The cabin is a mess of twisted roots. The walls a chaotic weave of knotted wood that, almost as if by accident, just happens to resemble a room.
That's such a good way of describing
it. The
it.
floor is damp and earthy, and the only furniture of note is a slab of mud in the shape of a shelf, with a pristine blade perched on its edge.
Such a good voice. I forget, every time I go away from the game for a bit and come back, it's just such a good voice. But yeah, the idea of these the knotted wood resembling a room by accident makes it feel like it is unnatural, while being made out of one of the most natural things you can be made of. So this is gonna be maybe a witch's house then?
The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Oh no. Should we just enter the basement? Because no, we'll approach the mirror every time, I guess.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see.
Because what's the opportunist gonna say?
What are you talking about? This isn't a wall. It's a mirror.
Yeah, wipe off the mirror again.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now.
I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. Enter the basement.
No blade. I hope you know what you're getting us into.
So this time, because I guess we did get ripped to shreds last time, and we also got stabbed to death as well before. Even the hero was like, "Are you not bringing the blade?"
Be here if we need it. Sure, that was also true last time, and we still died, but we definitely know what we're doing this time.
I suppose so. The opportunist, I trust him less than everyone so far. Look at the wall here, it's oh my god.
The basement creaks open, revealing a staircase dug into the muddy earth below. The ceiling is thick with roots that hang like locks of tangled hair. The weak starlight from the cabin windows behind you can barely penetrate the gloom here, only illuminating the edges of an opening below. It shines in the darkness like some kind of massive maw.
Oh my god, maw is such a good word as well.
Up into the earth.
That's what it feels like. It does feel like you're being. It doesn't feel like you're entering. It feels like you're being swallowed by this staircase.
The air smells of dirt and copper. It's thick and wet,
so
as if your
blood
lungs are being coated in mud with each intake of breath. If the princess lives here, slaying her would probably be doing her a favor.
It sounds like a horrible place to live, obviously, but
her voice skitters up.
Skitters?
From below.
Something nasty finds itself on my stairs.
Oh.
Come on down. Don't be scared. I probably won't bite.
So this is the third iteration we've seen of this girl. She's now talking kind of is it I'm not nasty? Hello?
I recognize that voice as easily as I recognized your nervous little footsteps coming up the path.
Yeah?
I know who you are, and I remember what you've done.
I wouldn't have done it if I had a choice.
She must have you confused with someone else.
No.
She seems friendly enough. Maybe we can talk our way out of this whole situation.
I don't think so.
You can't. Unless you slay her right away, she's going to break free and end the world. There's no reasoning with what she is. Look, I'm just throwing ideas out there. I like to think out loud. I'm the kind of guy who likes a discussion. Don't we want to hear what everyone has to say before making any big decisions?
Okay, buddy. Okay.
Do you want to hear what everyone has to say? Or do you just want to hear yourself talk?
Yeah, I don't... He's the most disingenuous character we've had so far.
You need to stop
disingenuous.
lingering. Your task is to slay the princess, not endlessly debate about what to do with the princess. Fine, fine. You're the boss.
Oh my god, I can't wait to see this now.
You descend the basement steps.
Oh my god, look at her!
Room below. You can just make out the shape of the princess in the gloom. She's huddled against the far wall, her eyes bright and glaring from amid the thick roots.
And again, we talked about how, like, the change happens when you go from, like, a cabin that makes it seem like someone kidnapped the princess to a stone wall that makes it feel like the princess should be there, right? If you see someone in a stone dungeon, chances are that they're like dangerous enough that you should, that they kind of like have to be there. So in your head, you're kind of like, stone wall is more protective than a cabin. So of course, it feels like, you know, cabin feels like very like personal almost, while a stone dungeon feels like it's almost like, hey, we're just doing business here. We had to lock her up. But this feels like almost like part of the world, feels kind of ethereal, kind of like, even like, I don't want to say demonic, but if it does feel like it is a situation where it doesn't feel like she feels like she's a prisoner in like her own realm, if we are talking about a witch here, right? So it's interesting the differences we have between the three places and how they would make you feel if you were the hero coming down here, if you were the narrator coming down here. Because instantaneously, like, all you see is like, instantly, I keep saying words wrong. Yeah, I think that I'm using real words, but like in the situations they're not supposed to use. It's probably just early in the morning. Instantly, like, the first thing I feel as I come down here and I see her in the distance with a tail and like the legs and like, you know, everything. Like, she's obviously very different, but it's the surroundings that also give you a different energy to this place as well.
And there you are.
And the voice, of course.
Seeming to offer a helping hand while likely hiding the other behind your back. Fine. I'll play along for now.
Oh my god.
What do you want?
I'm here to save you.
You made a comment back in the woods about having been here before. And now she's acting like the two of you already know each other.
We're best buds. We're best buds. You don't even know.
Oh, no. You've already been here, haven't you?
And now we know it's different dimensions,
That's
by the way.
pretty sharp. How'd you figure that one out? Call it deductive reasoning. Well, you seem to be great at it.
He's trying to like suck up to everybody. Like, he's trying to make it seem like, and that's what I just don't.
So, you really don't remember
Don't trust the opportunist at all.
No, I don't. But you and the princess clearly have a shared reality, even if I'm not a part of it. I won't waste time fighting you on something that's clearly true.
So, we're getting bits and pieces here as time goes on. Not only are we jumping from different dimensions, but we are like a shared reality. Like, our reality is similar to each other's.
I'm just glad we could put all this behind.
You see what I mean? He's like trying to be like diffuse situations, and now there's nothing wrong with trying to diffuse a situation. He's trying to be like, you know, oh, like everything's okay, everything's good.
Is it all behind us? Just focus on the task at hand. I don't care if you've been here before, and I don't care if you think you'll go somewhere else after this. My world is on the line right now, so I'd appreciate
my world,
it
by the
if
way.
you would take this seriously and slay her.
His dimension.
Let's chat her up a bit first. Maybe we can find a middle ground where everyone's happy. Don't talk to her. You're just going to make things more difficult than they have to be.
Well, I seem to remember you having a tongue.
That's a good line. I'm sorry about last time.
Ooh, smart. Let's apologize.
See,
Get us back on the right foot.
I'm apologizing because I had to kill her when I didn't want to. You're apologizing because, again, you take every opportunity possible to get into people's good books. You leave.
Oh, you're sorry. Isn't that nice? You're such a gracious little monster.
I didn't want to do it.
If you're sorry, then let me out of here. Prove it.
Sold. Let's see. I died last time. You didn't. If anyone here should be... No. Look, I know things got messy last time. I think there's something bigger aboard than both of us. You should team up. So neither of us are... so we're at an impasse. Neither of us are going to get anywhere if we can't trust each other. Unless you want to fight, but I don't want to fight. Can't you get out of those chains on your own? Those chains didn't stop you last time. Which you had the dainty, like, hands. That was like a whole thing, right? Why don't you have a why do I have a nagging feeling you're going to stab me in the back if I help you out of here? I don't trust you not enough to free you. So I think what we say is, like, maybe... work team up?
I suppose you didn't come into my hovel of your own accord, did you? All right. I suppose I could team up?
Yeah.
I need a way out after all. And unfortunately, you're the only one I have.
So that being with all the multiple hands said that like these princesses yearn to be outside, even though like they're becoming vessels for that thing. They'd rather be outside than being here. It's something calling them.
Seems to me like she's offering a mutually beneficial arrangement. We should take it.
You just stay out of this.
Do you know what the word mutually means? Because it sounds to me like she's offering an arrangement that benefits her and her alone.
If I died last time, okay, so how am I supposed to get you out of those chains?
Oh, I don't need you to cut me out.
Yeah.
The princess grins.
So she
as the
did just,
chains
like-
fall from her wrist.
So she does have the dainty hands
She could have
still.
gotten out of those the whole time. That sneaky little.
I love that though. I love that. That's hilarious. That's one of my favorite gags ever. Aang in the prison, you know, on the island when he takes off the headgear.
A woman after my own heart, really. She knows how to hold her cards close to her chest.
Honestly, it's the first thing you said that's actually makes sense. I know, I love that. That's a great gag. You know what I mean? Even though it's not a gag, it's supposed to probably be scary. I just appreciate it. So funny.
This is why she can't just be abandoned here. If left to her own devices, she'll find a way out. Now stop her.
Very interesting that they're bringing that up now because the past 2 times she's able to get out of her chains. So I wonder if they try to like show us like, hey, no matter what, she's probably going to try and get out. I died last time. Why do I have the feeling? Okay, let's leave.
Yes, let's.
She creeps forward, taking one cautious step.
Oh my
at a
god, she looks so
time
cool!
Until you and she are face to face. She never breaks eye contact, even as the two of you find yourselves.
The illustrations are
face
so
to
good.
face.
She looks so cool.
She's silent for a long moment, as if testing to see what you'll do now that she's within arm's
Nothing.
reach.
I ain't gonna hurt nobody.
After you, darling. You're the one that lets come and go. It's best if I follow.
You're the one, so she can't just come and go as she pleases. So she believes that she can't just come and go as she pleases without someone bringing her out. So someone has to escort her out. So this whole thing of like them saying, oh, maybe like she's gonna be, if she left her own device, she's gonna get out anyway. It's not true.
Oh no, we can't have that. If anyone is going to turn their back on anyone else, she's going to turn her back on us.
Yeah.
It shouldn't matter who leads and who follows. We're working together here.
Yeah, but like she's really cool. She has a
If it
tail.
doesn't matter, then she can go first. We may be in this together, but that doesn't mean we have to trust her. Somebody has to go first, and it might as well be us. We're the ones who broke her trust last time.
Fact.
You're talking a lot about trusting someone who, by her very definition, cannot be trusted. I don't know how many more warnings I have to dole out. But if you help her out,
Music's
here,
so cool with
you're
it.
going to regret it.
No, I'm not gonna regret it. I regret killing her. That's what I regret. Let's go.
That's right. You're the one who's going first. Don't worry.
She's probably
I'll be
gonna-
right behind you watching every single thing you do.
Yeah, she's probably gonna murder me.
That's exactly what I'm worried about. You step onto the stairs and begin your ascent from the basement. The princess follows close on your heels, perhaps even a little closer than you'd like. You're only saying that because you want us to feel nervous.
Interesting calling out the narrator for trying to make us feel
I
scared.
do want
I've said
those
that before
things,
as well.
but I want them for a good reason. I don't need you to trust me for my sake, because I already know that I'm right. This is for you. Can we walk backwards up the stairs? I think that's the smarter idea. She can't sneak in and attack if we're facing...
Here's the thing, she probably, if she kills us, that's fine. But we have to show her, at least for the next life as well, that like, we can be trusted.
No. The stairs are a bunch of overgrown roots. You'll trip and hurt yourself. But
Oh
the
god.
princess is silent as you both continue the climb, and in no time at all, the upstairs of the cabin is within reach.
Yep.
Isn't that a relief? We're fine. Nothing
Don't
happened.
say that!
You're not even going to wait until you're through that door to proudly
Yeah.
claim your victory, are you?
Do not say that.
Why did you just say that? I think we know why. You feel something dig into your shoulder, sharp and piercing.
Oh, yeah.
The princess clawing at you and pulling you down with her full weight.
Oh god.
Together you tumble back down the uneven stairs, your body and hers crashing
No.
against the unyielding wooden roots, until finally you both separate with a bone-shaking thud against the basement floor. You feel something.
Oh no. Oh no, no, no.
The princess lands against the far wall, gasping as she struggles to recover from the
You
impact.
did you do that to us? But you
You're
fell.
still in shock, trying to get a hold of yourself. She grins as you continue to remain.
Oh God, look at her! Look at her!
Cackling derisively as she watches you realise that you won't be getting up.
Honestly, we love a good cackle.
Wait, why won't we be getting up? I'm afraid your back is broken. One unlucky fall is all it takes, really, and you had several.
Oh my God!
You know what? I'll say it. That sucks. I don't like having.
Oh, you don't say! You don't say!
We were going to help her. Why? Why did she do that?
I think
it's what I would have done. Have you considered not being like that?
Yeah, like no, I kind of like you guys saw. I knew she's probably gonna do something, right? I knew she's probably gonna do something. At least we got to hear a witch's cackle, you know?
Of course not. It's what keeps us alive. And yet here we are, paralysed and stuck with someone who hates us in the basement of a remote cabin.
You must have known this was coming. The arrogance of turning your back to me after everything you've done.
You know what? Fair. I can't get up. What the hell? I was trying to help you out of here. We were never going to get up the stairs, were we? We could have gotten out of here if you just trusted each other. Maybe?
Why would I ever trust you? Your hands have spilled my blood.
I didn't want to.
And knowing that, you should never have trusted me either. You should have known I would never walk hand in hand with a loathsome thing like you.
I never wanted to do it, though.
By our very natures, only one of us could make it upstairs unscathed. Someone had to make the first move. Better me than you.
See, this is why I wanted her to go first. I had this whole little scheme planned, where once she'd passed by the table upstairs, I'd have said, now pick up the blade and stab her in the back.
And I would have said no.
And then you'd say something like, wow, that's an amazing idea that I never saw coming. Thanks for looking out for us. And then you would have done it and we wouldn't be stuck down here with a broken back. There's just one problem with that. And what's that? She was clearly planning to betray us. And if she was in front of us, she would have gotten to the blade first.
Not a bad point.
Ugh, you're right, aren't you? I thought this whole thing was ironclad, but really it was doomed from the start, wasn't it?
I feel like she was planning to get revenge from the start, right, for what happened. Again, like I said, personally, I didn't want to do what we did last time, but we were forced into that option.
The princess's body twitches as she tries to get up.
Well, she can't get up either. No!
Ho, ho, ho. So she's got it as bad as us.
Please get out of here, princess. At least you get out of here.
Something inside me is broken. Isn't that a cruel twist of the knife? Isn't that so funny?
I don't find any of this funny, I'll be honest with you.
She eyes you with intensity, silence falling between you for a long moment as her gaze travels up and down your battered form.
Seems I'm not the only one, though.
Wait, are we both just
No
stuck?
way! That is, I just realized that that's the ending now, is that the both of us are just like literally paralyzed and can't get up and have to just sit here with each other until we die.
Certainly seems that way.
That is rough.
What a way to go. But look on the bright side. In all this chaos, you may have actually managed to deliver a lethal wound. The world could be saved after all.
So she will die again.
We're going to die together. Isn't that a lovely treat? I wonder how long it'll take. Maybe I'll get to watch the worms lick your bones.
Oh my God. I'm Miss Sweetheart Princess. No, this again. I like instantly was like, this princess is so cool. Like this witch version of the princess is so cool. Like, I guess my methodology was like, I'm going to try and gain her trust again, but it was very clear from the start, and I should have realized. And I think I did. I said she was probably going to do something, but I was like, look, we have to gain her trust again for the next time. But if she dies again, I wonder if we will get her trust again.
Is that really what's going to happen? Hello? Are you still there?
He's gone.
What happens next?
He's gone. He's gone.
I think he's gone.
But now this thing is appearing, though.
Something strange is twisting this place out.
Yeah. This is where the,
I wasn't feeling much of anything, but now I feel cold.
Are you dying right in front of her? Oh, it's still collecting her. What the hell? It still took her as a vessel. What? Even though we didn't get outside? It's time to leave. Memory returns.
Where did she go?
What?
Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
Yeah. It's gonna be just, trust me, we've been here before and you're always scared. Approach the mirror. So she still got taken as a vessel. You approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different.
What?
Final. If he thinks it's bad, I'm with him.
The voices feel small, distant as you approach. Gaze into the reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone once again. The mirror always makes them leave, but I need to see what's in it. You've withered. You find yourself in the long quiet once again. Proceed to the cabin. Wait. You were at the cabin. Approach her. So she still took her as a vessel.
A growing chorus of contradiction. A mass of tides ebbing and flowing all at once in more directions than my attention can bear to hold. To look
this is
at
crazy.
anyone is to shift them all into something new. And to look away is to reshape them yet again.
We're in a different space again.
All of me is changing, and yet the rest of me is still the same.
You can't be a contradiction. Contradictions don't exist. How can you stand to be a contradiction? It doesn't matter how many times I go back. At least one of us always hurts the other. Doesn't that change you? Doesn't that make you worse? What do you think of this vessel? You know, at the end of this, once you... I'm not saying that anyway. How can you stand to be a contradiction?
As easily as you can stand to be you. You are like me. Even if you have chosen not to look at the corners of you that do not fit. Even if you have chosen to ignore the brilliant contours of your soul.
Wow. So she's saying that, like, we have contradictions to ourselves as well, but we refuse to look at those parts. That's why looking in the mirror is probably that thing as well, where it's like we're getting a good look at ourselves. Something we probably don't want to do. We're covering our faces as we look into the mirror. What do you think of this vessel?
This one is hope marred by bitterness and betrayal. She could see the end of the tunnel, and the door was closed on her. She will make for a righteous heart.
So your mindset is that she is a righteous heart because she had the tunnel at the end.
Do not mourn her. She is finally on the other
like
side.
It seems like she's saying, like, because she was like she had hope and she was almost out of there, but then like still broke her back. Basically, she is a righteous vessel. Do not mourn, she's finally on the other side. So yeah, she said that again. Have you figured out... Do you still not care what I bring you next? Have you... Oh, ask this question.
I care about your gifts, but I have no preferences to burden you with. Even if I did, I would never dare to tarnish our relationship by assuming myself above you.
Interesting. She's saying, like, I'm not gonna question your gifts or like insult your gifts or try to give you orders because I'm not seeing as myself as like your boss or anything. Contradictions don't exist.
And yet my waters flow and my streets bustle. There are no words that can describe me into non-existence. There is no logic that can bind my multitude.
So she's saying that's like, yeah, it's like, yeah, you say there's no contradictions in the world, but like, describe me. Like, try and explain me, you know? Like, as we're very afraid of the unknown, and like, she's saying like, hey, well, like, if I am a walking contradiction, if I'm not a contradiction, explain all my contradictions. Do it. Nothing can explain me.
I am everything that you have known me to be, but I am also none of it.
Interesting. So I wonder if she's saying like, hey, like, I am all these vessels, but I'm also none of these vessels. Do you know what happens to the worlds we leave behind?
My perspectives are shadowed. You have seen what I have seen, just as I have seen what you have seen. The angles of my vantage do not offer me hidden truths, and my attention is turned inward, except when you are here with me.
Okay, so she's saying like, what, she can't see all the hidden truths of the world and what's happening between them, but she's also saying then like, all my attention is like about myself and in on myself. But when I'm with you, you're the only other person I know, so I'm able to like have a perspective that's outside of myself.
Perhaps this will change when our work is done.
I'm very interested to see what happens when the work is done. Let's see. What you want when we're finished.
The desires of my multitude thrive in endless competition with themselves. But none of them rise above their dance to influence me. I yearn for what I have always yearned for, our awakening. Other desires shrink in the light of knowing you and knowing me.
So she wants to understand us as well as herself? Attack the entity, destroy your body. I'm ready to go back. How many more vessels I need to bring you so you don't have any preference on how you like to grow and change?
The tides do not dictate where they are pulled. A river does not dictate its outlet.
Okay, so she's comparing herself to a river.
My gift to you is to let you choose your path, and my task is to treasure the gifts you bring me.
So it's almost like she's saying like the gift that she is giving us is like a perceived free will that we get to choose everything, whilst also like she is getting to maybe perceive, because again she's saying she can't perceive anything else but herself except for us. So I wonder if like we are giving her like a mountain of perspective every time we make different choices, every time we interact with this vessel, and how we treat this vessel is probably giving her a perspective on the world. That's possible, yeah. I'm ready to go back.
I will be here.
Some of those answers there,
for us to meet again.
Unless I missed one, some of those answers there I didn't want to answer. They didn't feel like my perspective, to be honest. The Hero and the Princess, Chapter 1. So interesting. So we have to like...
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay.
And at the end of that path, you're here to...
So... Can't someone else do it? Forget about this. Have you considered this? They're all the same answers, right? Yeah, continue to the cabin again. They're all the same answers,
you
but
make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within.
Does that make sense when I say like for me, like sometimes I will not choose multiple choices because if they don't fit my perspective, I don't want to use them, and I don't want to also like, you know, like for me, I don't have any negative feelings towards the vessel or towards that being yet. Even though like at first I was kind of like, what are you doing to her? But then like there's like this whole mess of a thing that like, again, and it's kind of interesting that we're talking to someone that only has a perspective on themselves when we're desperately trying to find a perspective on them. And from my money, from what I perceive, like we're getting a bunch of different stories from all different sides. That's the whole point. The narrator saying the world will end, right? The narrator saying like, and the narrator has clearly like it's clearly there's a contradiction there in this from the narrator. The narrator's like, if you leave this witch or this princess to their own devices, they will leave. But we know this is not true because the princess clearly has to wait for like almost an invitation to leave before she can leave. Because she's able to take off, she's able to get herself out of there. We've seen that multiple times. She's done it like 4 times now where she's gotten herself out of there even without a knife. So she's able to leave. Yeah, it's all pretty crazy.
We're not going to go through with this, right? She's a prince. Ignore him. He doesn't know.
So let's proceed to the cabin. Should we bring the knife this time? Or I think we should keep not bringing the knife, but it's like... It worries me that they're going to make me kill her again.
The interior of the cabin is almost entirely bare. The air is a blade is your...
It's interesting because I wonder if they're going to make me slay her once again. Enter the basement. But I want to kind of gain her trust again. But also we haven't taken the blade in a long time. Should we try taking the blade this time and see what happens? Because they seem to put the blade in her hand anyway.
You take the blade from the table.
So I wonder what that will do. What's the voice going to be like?
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase. Her voice.
Who's there?
It's her again. So the knife,
She
yes.
sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here. Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Continue on the stairs.
Good. You're still listening to reason.
So the knife is what changes the voice because you're back to this one.
And lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
If you remember, she killed us the other time.
She's so coldly beautiful.
Yeah, he said this last time
Focus
too.
on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
Yeah, this is so crazy. We're back to this character again. I'm just here to talk.
Then why did you bring a knife with you? How about you drop it, and then we can chat?
So...
She makes a compelling point. What if we just dropped the blade and
So we said a lot of these choices before.
It's not like she's a threat.
But they won't make us make the same choice again. Which means they're probably going to have to kill her again.
We can decide what we want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. But killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us. The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
I'm so nervous about this one because I know how this always ends up. She kills us, right? She kills us in the end.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
I wish you could throw the blade out of here. That would be good.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
So, yeah, it's pretty awkward.
I know. I just said that. Now why are you here to kill me?
She said, yeah, this isn't chit-chat time. My reason is, don't you think I just come here to kill you without someone knowing? Do you know why I'm trying to kill you? You're supposed to end the world. I've been told things. I'm not sure what to believe.
Believe me.
Narrator, you're not in the good books.
And do you think asking me what to believe is going to suddenly make everything
No, I do not.
clear?
I do not.
Let's not pretend that's going to happen. As far as you're concerned, and as far as they're concerned, I'm going to say whatever I have to get out of here. That's just the dynamic of our situation.
Yep. How would I get you out of here? You're supposed to end the world. There's people out there. What's your name? How long have you been down here? Do you know what? Okay, we talked enough. So how do I get you out of here?
You can't. Don't bother.
I'm guessing you don't have the key then. I'm sure there's a key somewhere around here, and if there isn't, well, we can always put that.
Yeah, so cutting her arm out. Yeah.
Her sharp eyes settle on the edge of the blade. She isn't suggesting what I think she's suggesting.
No, she is.
She is.
She is. Phew. How long have you been down here? Do you know I'm here to kill you? Okay, we talked enough because we have a lot of these choices before.
Oh, have you decided
yes,
what to
we're gonna
do
save
with
you
me?
again. We're trying to save you.
You know why you're here.
I'm getting you out of here. I'm going to keep you. Okay, yeah.
Oh, you have to be kidding me.
Narrator, stop.
You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a
The
tug.
chains even look tighter when she's in this mode, right?
They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
If you don't have the key, maybe you should go looking for it. I'm sure it's somewhere upstairs.
They're going to lock the door on me.
Doubtful. Whoever.
Yeah. Yeah, I know they're going to lock the door on me. They did it before. So we went through all these choices before.
You try the door. You're here.
Yeah, I remember this before.
You make your way easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. The knife.
You won't.
Save the princess again?
Against
So
your
rough. This is the
better
first thing we ever
judgment,
did.
You place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as free from her bindings. The princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze.
This is the first thing we ever saw in this game. It's so crazy how we're getting more desensitized to the violence of this.
How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Approach the locked door. So this is where she killed us last time.
We won't have any of that. The stakes are too high.
Yeah, and he said this
Because
before
the
too.
Princess approaches the bottom. Wait, this isn't.
He says before too. Slay, warn her is So I think he's probably gonna make her do something, right?
I thought this was a little too easy.
Yeah.
Your body lunges forward to sink the blade into her back, but the princess swiftly moves out of the way before you can connect. Stop it! Stop resisting me! I am trying to get you out of here.
Buddy, I know death at this stage. You know what I mean? I'm in for chapter 2. I'm in chapter 2. Wait, oh my god, it's gonna be blocked, isn't it? Yeah, slay the princess. So we didn't.
Thank you. You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing through the air. but she's ready for it. She grabs your arm, her grip like a stone
Again, I didn't want to do this.
You drop the blade.
She just like broke her wrist.
She lets go, and faster than you can react, rears back and hits you with a bone-shattering haymaker.
It's like this like ethereal like princess, and she's about to do like, you know, a Saturday night out, 2 a.m. Everyone's drunk on the street, fist fight. Look at this. That's exactly what you would see on that night.
There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now. Adrenaline coursing through your system.
Grinding bones.
You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again.
She's boxing us. I know she's stomping on us.
As punishing as the first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside.
Just destroying us.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your
Go ahead there. Go ahead. Go ahead.
She
Look at
places
this.
a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground.
She's just stomping us out.
Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess.
It's a body.
It can't just end like this, right? I'm sorry, but it's so. Everything goes
That's
dark,
insane.
and you die.
Again, we're seeing different, like they force you into a different avenue, I feel like, in the first chapter all the time, right? The tower. And now we're in a different stage as well. And I actually think the way they're doing it is good because like
You're on a path.
It allows me to play this game in a way
and at the end of that path
that
is a cabin.
doesn't feel like I'm missing out on
the
stuff.
Like
Like
of that cabin is a princess.
Like I feel, and I think this is intentional because the way the game is so meta, I feel like I haven't made any of my own choices, but at the same time, all the choices are mine. Is that weird to say? Like, it feels like I'm almost on a destined path, and that's, to me, that's a good choice-based game. It feels like we're on almost like a linear path that's chosen for us by fate, but at the same time, every choice I've made has been mine. Apart from those choices, obviously, like, but I'm saying, like, in chapter 2 for sure. Like, every choice you make is ours, you know? And early on as well, like, obviously we're being forced into choices, but like I think that's what makes a good choice-based game, is that, like, even though you've made choices and things are different and things are changing, it feels as though, like, this is, like, your path, right?
You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
So, do we just go to the cabin? Wait, hasn't no. We've been through this. Who's gonna be with us this time, though?
A warning. Before you go any further.
She will lie, she will cheat.
We might as well just
The broken
pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us.
So we have the broken now, and because we've been killed multiple times by her, I wonder if, like, now this other being with us is broken to the point that they know we're just gonna, like, just get destroyed again. I do want to say as well, like when I said earlier about the how it feels linear while also not being linear, I don't mean that this game is linear, because it's definitely anything but. Like, there's so many different choices. In fact, I think there's more endings than I can even count. But what I mean is more just like, because this game is so meta, I feel like they're trying to make you feel like very weary about the idea of, like, are you making your own decisions? Is this your choice? Did you do this? Even though we are making all the decisions, but it just feels also at the same time as that, like, we're being, like, dragged somewhere, even though we're making our own choices. Does that make sense? I feel like that game makes you just feel uneasy like that.
Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist.
Oh my god.
I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying.
I mean, we know that
just
this...
ignore their bickering, and whatever you do, don't pledge yourself to her. I cannot stress enough how absolutely catastrophic that would be for everyone, yourself included.
Sure.
I agree. If she's wrongfully imprisoned, then we should rescue her, but if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand her the world on a silver platter.
I mean, not a silver platter. We could do, like, a steel platter.
Her. Given the stakes of the situation, there isn't really a difference between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible.
So he's saying, like, that is pledging ourselves to her.
So please, try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
Proceed to the cabin.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say.
Oh my god. It does change a lot of things though, because like it's like it almost changes the tone of like the journey we're on. It gives you a different perspective on the past. Like when you had like the opportunist who was just like trying to like, you know, maybe like almost like a bargaining kind of person where they're always just trying to stay on like whatever side is the what they feel is the best side so they can just win in the end. Whereas like we had like the smitten, which was such an interesting character to me that like, you know, was, you know, is kind of like the typical fairy tale story, and having that in story 2 was also really cool. And then you had like the skeptic, which is kind of like, you know, in my opinion, the skeptic is supposed to kind of represent what probably most of the audience would be like sometimes, which is kind of like something's going on here, you know? So they gave me that first, which I appreciate. Then they realized that I was trying to save the princess lost, so they gave me the smitten, right? Then they gave me the opportunist, because I wonder if they felt as though, like, because we had saved the princess multiple times, that we were trying to, like, get on the side of the entity that we saw. So, like, maybe we're trying to, like, that they maybe felt like, oh, maybe they're trying to, like, you know, be the ultimate opportunist in this sense. And now they're giving us the broken, because we've been killed by the princess twice in a row. So now it's like the game's like, well, are you feeling broken? It's so meta in that way. It's so meta. So interesting.
The interior of the cabin is larger
Oh my
and more
god!
grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel small. We are small.
Wait, we are small? Oh, well, I guess the broken would say this. You didn't say anything about a mirror on the wall. Enter the basement. We're just entering the basement.
No blade this time. Yeah. Maybe she'll be more receptive if we're unarmed. Blade. No blade. It doesn't matter.
The music's so great as well, and like accompanying the Broken's voice as he's like saying like, you know, and I feel like that is the way the game has gone, and I love that. It's like every single person we've had with us really feels like it's a natural progression. Oh my god, like a tomb? The princess in the tower.
The door to the basement.
It's a winding staircase.
Revealing spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice.
Yeah?
It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives
there he goes
here,
again.
Slaying her is probably doing her a favor.
Trying to influence us into doing the killing.
Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear?
Jesus.
Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
Witness? Do you hear the voice? It's like multiple voices and...
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time.
At all.
You shouldn't have come down here unarmed. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see
And he's so
her.
broken, he's like, let's just go down. But I'm kind of like, I think it's trying to mimic like how they would like perceive we would be feeling at the stage.
Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Continue says, I'm so excited to see what she looks like.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond.
What?
The princess towers over you,
F.
almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall.
I'd be bowing down already. She's like a god. Like, look at this, like...
The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you, it was pointless to resist.
The broken is freaking, like, is just reliving everything in their head of what's happened, but, like, I can't believe this illustration is fantastic.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants.
I will save you.
I see your hands are empty. You've already given up, haven't you? You aren't even going to try and kill me. How sweet.
And she comments on that as well. I love that she noticed that.
And more than a little disappointed.
Oh, you wanted us to try and kill you?
She's disappointed.
Don't, it's okay.
Kneel.
Sure.
On her command, you fall to the floor, knees painfully connecting with hard stone.
That's my good little bird.
Yes.
Now, why don't we talk?
Yes, I am a good little bird.
The last time we met, you tried to kill me. And yet here you are again. This time groveling at my feet. What a wretched sight.
Guilty. So wretched.
What draws you back here beyond the empty halls of death?
Beyond empty halls of death. So she's saying, what brings you back from the dead to come here and confront me again?
Speak.
I'll speak. Well,
The last time we met,
narrator, don't get involved.
nobody should have met her before this. You should be the first. You're the only one I trust to deal
The only
with
one I
her.
trust.
Then you shouldn't have trusted us. There was nothing we could do to stop her then. And there's nothing we can do to stop her now.
Yeah, Broken's right.
He's being melodramatic, but yeah, we've been here before and she absolutely destroyed
Stood on my
us.
windpipe.
What are we even supposed to do to stop her? That's worrying. Whatever you do, don't tell her why you're here. It's best not to give her any ideas.
I don't think I can refuse her. We're getting her out of here.
Are you serious? Just don't say anything. How hard can it be to not say anything?
You haven't met me, generational yapper.
You haven't felt her angelic fingers run along the edges of your mind. You haven't felt her nails dig into your thoughts.
The perspective of the Broken is the most interesting one yet, which is saying a lot. He is genuinely telling us right now, it's like, you don't understand what it is like. She will literally manipulate you, or like not even manipulate you, but she like you will think about it. When we're playing this game, all we're thinking about is that princess. That's all we're thinking about. She's in our mind. You're supposed to end the world.
You weak-willed buffoon.
Actually, I'm going against you, so I'm strong-willed buffoon.
Is that so?
Yeah, that's what he said. That's what this idiot said, huh? What do you think?
The princess
I can't.
closes her eyes
This
in
presentation of her is incredible.
Something about that thought wraps itself around my heart. It feels like a fundamental truth to my being that I'd somehow forgotten.
So we just reminded her of this.
The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alteration.
The voice as well is so fantastic. One of the best ways that you can show like a entity is like on a different plane of power to us in any game, any piece of art, is having multiple voices. And I think that goes back to maybe like demonic possession sometimes as well, where a lot of people believe that you would have multiple demons in one vessel. Shadow of the Colossus is a great example of this, where when Dorman talks to you, you know what I mean? It's such like a incredible like presence, because you can hear multiple voices in one vessel talking to you in Shadow of the Colossus from the start. Like you can hear a girl's voice, a boy's voice, a deeper voice, a softer voice. It's really interesting the way they do it.
It's time for me to seize my destiny, and you, little bird, will help me seize it.
She's inevitable.
Inevitable is a great way to put it.
To do but help her. Maybe she'll be nice.
I think we've lost all chances of her being nice to us after trying to kill her twice. What would you have me do? What do you have planned?
All you have to do is break these chains and set me free.
Wow, small price to pay. If you're so let's see. I have questions for you. Decide to do anything. What happened to you after I died? I'm yours to command. Pledge yourself to. Oh my god. Should we just pledge? Should we just pledge? Like at this point, you know, I kind of agree with the Broken at this stage. Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be. Should we ask some questions?
Know the limits of your
Oh yeah, you're right. I'm sorry.
There's an empty place at my side for you to fill, if you'll have it. But it is not a place for an equal. It is a place for something worthy to be kept. A priest.
No.
Perhaps, or a
We're gonna be her pet. So we can only answer these 3. Okay. She doesn't want to answer our questions. We're here to get her out of here.
Your will was so easily broken. Am I that magnificent?
Listen, I came here to get you out. We're gonna get you out of here.
All you need to do now is break my
Sure,
chains.
let's do it.
If this is what you want, then I guess
The
there's
light
not
of
much
the
else
kind
for
of
me
like
to say.
stained glass window, like lighting her hair from the back again, makes her feel so otherworldly.
No, you can't just give in to her. Not when the stakes are so high. Not when you're so close. I won't let you do
Oh, what are you gonna
this.
do? Narrate me?
There's still something in the way. A greasy film inside of you where it doesn't belong.
Is that what you're describing the narrator as, a
Trying to
greasy film?
conceal you from me. Is that a person? No, it used to be a person.
Whoa.
It's something different now. An echo.
So the narrator is seen, what used to be a person is now an echo. Oh, the hands! Look at the hands on the church!
Is she talking about you? That's impossible. She's not supposed to be able
Oh,
to interact
yeah.
with me.
You're a small one,
Oh
aren't you?
my god.
A shriveling little worm stretched beyond its limits,
Oh.
trying to control things that it can't understand.
No way! Is she talking to us or the narrator?
No. What are
That's
you
insane, she's
about?
talking
I'm
directly
just-
to the narrator!
I don't care what you are. You're mine.
What? Just that simple? She's able to do that?
Rise, my little bird.
Okay, so this version is way more powerful than anything.
Without hesitation, you're brought to your feet.
Wait, she's speaking as the narrator.
Break my
Did you hear that? Her
chains.
voice was within the narrator as well.
And how are we supposed to do that? We don't even have a weapon. All you need to do is believe it's been
She has taken over the narrator position. Break her chains.
Her chains shatter.
Do you hear her?
And
Do you
the
hear
cuff
her?
falls from her
my
wrist.
I
She is
am
loose,
free,
and the end is upon us.
By the way, when it said she is loose, she said I am free, I think, or I am loose or something it said.
What a good disciple you are. Come, it's time for us to leave.
She took over the narrator position and narrated for him in his place. She doesn't want us to ask questions. There's the hands again. They took another vessel. That was the most mind-blowing of the chapter so far. She was able to speak directly to the narrator, and she was also able to talk to the narrator directly. And also, like, through the narration, was able to, like, make us do stuff. Just, the narrator was able to make us hold a knife, by the way. So, was she taking over that power to, like, maybe.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And is that a mirror?
Insane stuff.
Why is it here? Why now?
Of course you're scared. This is the end for you, but it's not for me. Approach the mirror.
This doesn't feel right. It feels different. Final.
Just like last
I
time.
don't want to look at us.
Gaze into the reflection. What are we going to look like this time? How are we looking? You've unraveled. So we went from withered to unraveled. We're changing every time we look into the mirror. And we gotta proceed to the cab. What does she look like this time? Oh my, she looks like she's still like pretty much in control. Like we've never seen her this like Just standing tall. Oh no, she's covered as
There's
well.
a world beyond the endless walls of the long quiet. We're supposed to be there. Do you know what we'll find out
No.
there?
Is that a rhetorical question? Do you know? Do you want me to tell me?
Rhetorical. I am not rhetorical. I have only known these spaces, and I have known flickers of the lives you've brought me, short and violent and full of passion. But all of those flickers end where the long quiet begins.
So this is like the long quiet. Is this the long quiet? And she's saying that like she's only known like the lives that we brought her.
I'm asking you because I cannot know your mind. Do you know what we'll find out there?
No. There's trees and stars and there are people, I think. At least people are supposed to be people. They're supposed to be people.
There is a warmth and sadness in me at the thought of people. Fresh tears on a winter's day. They are not like us. They do not last.
Do you think anything is real out there? Do you think we're real? Interesting question.
We are real. Nothing is an idea that dwells in the absence of something.
True.
But nothing cannot exist on its own. And because of that, nothing can't exist.
Professor Farnsworth said, and I'm not even joking, it's one of the, like, it was a joke in Futurama, but it's something that hit me forever. Everything's somewhere. Everything's like somewhere, man. Do you have thoughts on this vessel?
This one is dominant.
Yes. Yes.
A figure capable of bending everything to her will. She will make for an overwhelming
So you have
heart.
you're making, it's almost like she's making like a fully realized human here with all the different personalities.
Do not mourn her, for she would not be able to mourn you.
And so this time she didn't say she's on the other side. She's like, hey, she wouldn't be able to mourn for you. Do you know what's going to happen when you awaken?
If I did, I would already be awake.
Because the knowledge that she's seeking is through collecting these vessels. So if she was already awake, she would have already been finished with and be awake. When you send me back, I'm not alone. There are voices that speak to me. Some of them are me, but one of them is something else. I called him the narrator, and he wants me to kill you. Do you have a narrator? Have you vessels had one?
No, their thoughts are quiet. Do you think your narrator lives in the spaces beyond?
I love that she's acknowledging it, though. He does. I know. I don't know why, but I know this for a fact. He does. I don't know when I'm going to find him. When he does, and when I find him, you and I are finally going to have answers.
Do not look to one who fears me for your truth. The only answers worth knowing are those we can find within ourselves.
Okay. How many more vessels do I need? One?
Whatever you bring me next will be enough. And then gravity will
the last one.
Back to me. I will be singular. A final multitude.
This doesn't say one more. If this is the last time, is there anything you would like me to bring you?
These gifts are a conversation, and each one shows me the contours.
She's learning more every time we give her a vessel.
The only thing I want to see is what you choose for me when the thread is fully drawn.
I'm ready to go back.
The next time I see you,
Oh my god.
know what we are.
This is insane. We're going to finish our first ever run of this.
I will be here, waiting for you.
Everything goes dark and you die, and we're back in this place again, aren't we? Chapter 1, Hearing the Princess, yes. How are we going to get to the next part of this now? Because I wonder what, like, are we going to pick up the knife again?
You're on a path in the woods.
So, to talk about everything that's happened, in this one we got to see two things. We got to see the witch, and the witch was like trying to get revenge, and she called it a righteous heart, the idea because she was in the right to get revenge on us because we tried to kill her. Then we had dominance. We had, and I forget, honestly, I don't remember the exact phrasing of what she called every other vessel, but if you think of it just in a very basic terms, the first vessel she took was like one that was hurt, that was in pain, the one that got chopped up. Then we had, you know, I think it was twice we had the soft girl, was it? Again, it's, what I'm trying to say is, every single vessel she's taken feels like it's like a different part of her personality and it's a different perspective. And then talking to us gives another perspective as well. So it feels like every time the vessel is learning more about the world and how to feel, and she says the contours of our soul. So she's trying to learn those imperfections. learn what it means to be human, maybe. Or at least learn getting such a perspective on the world. And she said, I weep for the idea that there is no humans, which is such an interesting thing as well. If I got that right. I feel like this game is like a perfect game just because every single time I play it, I'm on the edge of my seat. And there's not a moment where I'm like, what's going to happen next? What? You know, I really feel like I am in a constant state of worry about this stuff, about what's going to happen next in this game. It's terrifying. It's really terrifying. I don't have any much theory so far, but pretty much we're going to talk about everything at the end. But pretty much everything that I've learned so far has been everything I've learned so far, if that makes sense. It's pretty much just like, as everything goes, this is what, you know what I mean? It's not like this thing where I'm like, how do I say it? It's not like this thing where I'm like, I have this fully realized theory of what's happening. I'm getting bits and pieces, as you've heard throughout this whole episode, and that's what's going to continue to be until we get to the end, I suppose. I will say, though, thank you so much to the Never Gonna Pay the Baby Gangsters here on Patreon for supporting this series and supporting me. Keep the channel going, as always, guys. Thank you so much to Ty4R2, Jamie Bull, Janet Banana, The Ghost of Inazuma, Felicious Felix, Yuld, Radish, Anusta, Malcolm Hyundai, Jeff Trap, Lynx Markey, Assassin, Alpaca Juice, Eopsy, Xander Whatever, and True Vita Butter. And I'll see you all so soon. Bye-bye.